Every time I come to Lebanon, I have the most amazing time, except that one time when I was filming with my camera. That's a whole nother story. But yes, Lebanon is safe. Come, you're gonna love it. Bom dia familia, sabah al-khair ya alti. Today I'm gonna give you guys the top 10 things you need to know before coming to Beirut. Considering I'm filming this with my large camera, let's kick this list off with the first point, which is photography. First thing to know before coming to Beirut is photography and the sensitivity towards photography here in the city. Whether you're a professional photographer or filmmaker and you're using a huge camera setup like mine, or if you're just using your phone, be cautious when taking photos. I would say never take photos of anything related to the military, anything related to police. I've even been stopped from filming myself, vlogging like I am now, around universities, around certain buildings. So just be careful where you're filming, what you're filming. Believe me when I say I'm telling you this from experience. Just be smart with your camera, with your phone. Number 2 is food. Lebanon and Beirut are home to some of the best food in the entire world in my opinion. So if you come to Beirut, 100% eat. For the love of God, eat. Everything from shish taouk, from small food vendors in the streets, all the way up to 5-star restaurants. Beirut has it all. And I'm not just talking Lebanese food, I'm talking all types of cuisine here in Beirut. Beirut's the type of city where you can get so many excellent types of cuisine. Lebanese, Armenian, French, everything. So when you come to Beirut, get out and eat. It's one of my favorite cities in this entire world to eat. Speaking of things to do, let's talk about some of the sights to see. So just like in the top 10 Sao Paulo video, I'm not gonna go into all the sights here to see in Beirut. I could do a whole nother vlog just on that. So here's just a short list of some of the highlights I recommend seeing here in Beirut. Beirut's a multilingual city, which brings us to number 4, language. You can easily get around Beirut with English, French, Arabic obviously. I have rarely found people that don't speak English or French here in the city, so if you don't speak Arabic, you can easily get around with one of those languages. Most people speak one of the two. Also getting around the city, you'll see signs in English and French all over the place. It's a very easy city to get around if you're an English or French speaker. Speaking of multiculturalism, number 5 is money. So what type of money can you use here in Lebanon? Most of the places that I have found while living here in Lebanon take Lebanese and take American dollars. So let's ask George. George, every place in Beirut, you can use American dollars?
Yes. Wherever you go, $1 is equal to 1,500 no matter if there's change in the currency worldly. So it's kind of stabilized to this amount.
And speaking of getting around Beirut, let's talk about transportation. Number 6. As a tourist, there are a number of ways to get around Beirut. The first way is to take a regular taxi. They're easy. They're relatively inexpensive, but they wouldn't be my first choice. Uber is super easy. I take Ubers around the city, and I find that Ubers are relatively cheap actually here in Beirut. The number 1 option for transportation, getting around Beirut as a tourist, I would say, is a service. So a service is a shared taxi ride anywhere in the city for 2,000 lira. Essentially, the taxi stops, you tell them service, you tell them where you want to go, and they'll either say get in or sorry, I'm not going there. It's pretty much like an Uber shared before Uber. It's super easy to get around, very affordable, and it's fun. You meet people, and I've actually never met anyone in a service before, but yeah, you can maybe. One important thing to note though is you cannot, from my experience, get a service from the airport. As a tourist, it has never worked, and I've tried every single time. I cannot get a service from the airport into the city. If you disagree, if it's happened to you, post down in the comments below, but I've never been able to get a service from the airport into the city. Once you're in the city, it's fine. So now that you guys know how to get around the city, let's talk about how to get around the city safely. Number 7, safety. So I'm sure some of you guys have read some negative stuff about Lebanon, about what's going on in Lebanon, or visiting Lebanon, travel warnings, all that. I'm sure it's there. I'm sure some of you have read some of that stuff. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, Lebanon is safe. I mean, safety is relative. Is it more dangerous than Chicago or LA or Orlando? There's crime anywhere in the world where you go. Just like in any major city anywhere in the world, just be smart. Be smart about what you're wearing, what you're carrying around. Every time I come to Lebanon, I have the most amazing time, except that one time when I was filming with my camera. That's a whole nother story, but when you're going out at night, just be smart. Use your common sense, and you're gonna have a great time in Beirut. But yes, Lebanon is safe. Come, you're gonna love it. So now that you guys know you're gonna have a great time when you come to Beirut, it's time to know when you should come. So Lebanon is the type of country that you can come to and should come to anytime during the year. In the wintertime, it's beautiful and it's great for skiing, for snowboarding, any kind of sports like that up in the mountains, beautiful. But summertime. Summertime is the time to come to Lebanon. You know why? This is why. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful here in the summertime. It's so nice. You can walk around at night, the cool breeze on the Corniche. If you have to pick one time during the year, summertime. Number 9 is nightlife. Whether it's a rooftop bar, clubs, or just restaurants, Beirut is open late, always. There's a lot of great nightlife. From bars in Manmachayel to rooftop clubs in downtown, to your local restaurant that's open until 4 in the morning. Experience the nightlife in Beirut. You're welcome. And the last and final thing to know before you come to Beirut is to make friends. Find contacts. Find people that are from here, that live here, that can take you around, because that is the best way to see Beirut, or any city for that matter. So that's the end of this video. I hope you guys like top 10 things to know before you come to Beirut. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, just click that button, and I will see you guys tomorrow in Beirut, Lebanon. I love you. Boa noite, تصبح الخير.